Hello, everybody. I'm Kathi Kellenberger. I'm here with my co-leader of the data platform WIT chapter, Mahadevan. And today we're interviewing Blythe Morrow. Many of you probably know her because she used to be one of the people that ran PASS back in the day. Now she's giving a pre-con at the PASS Data Community Summit. So Blythe, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Hi, thanks for having me. So I am a data platform and tech storyteller and marketer. I really have the coolest job because I get to put together my passions for data and SQL Server with the skill that I have that is telling great stories. I run a team of about 10 people, and we work with primarily data platform companies and helping them build their brand and get their word out into the market. And you're right, Kathleen, I did start my career back in the day working for the Professional Association for SQL Server. My job was to help local leaders around the world build local chapters, like physically in real life. And so I supported them to do that. Yeah.
We remember those chapters back in the day.
Do you? I remember too. You were both members of the chapter community.
Yes.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So tell us about your presentation. What are you going to be, or not presentation, but pre-con, not a presentation, your pre-con. Tell us what it's going to be about.
Thanks. Yeah, I'm really excited about the pre-con because, like I said, I have this really unique, unique window into the data professional and the businesses they work for. I spend my life interviewing CTOs and helping data experts be subject matter experts for their organizations. And the honest truth that I've discovered and I've seen over and over again, it's that you are negotiating and you are problem solving all the time. And often even without knowing it, because most DBAs, they're on small teams, they're advocates inside of their organizations. And so they're being asked to do things and sit in meetings that they never have before, right? It's not just about optimizing T-SQL and monitoring servers day in and day out. And so to be successful as an advocate and as a partner for your organization, you need to help the company evolve its data platform by communicating and being an influence inside of the organization. And so this pre-con is really designed for the data professional, for the IT professional, to be able to sit in those meetings and confidently communicate their ideas and work with the business in a problem-solving mentality to be able to get their point across.
Yeah, very cool. Yeah, it seems like back, like 20 years ago, it seems like a lot of just IT professionals, data developers didn't really need to communicate that much. Just go sit in the corner in the dark with your caffeinated beverage and a pizza and just do your job. But like you said, it's different because we have to communicate to management, what options should we do for moving to the cloud, or what platform makes sense. So you're right. There is a lot of communication that must be done. We can't go back to those old days of sitting in the corner. So Mala, do you have some questions?
Right. So I wanted to ask, I've been through challenges where I don't know what's the best way to present my skills on a resume that would attract the attention of an employer, or how to pitch myself. Especially true when you're going through a phase when you've been a senior DBA for like 10, 15 years. Now we're looking for, something that's a little bit more suited to how you've grown as a professional, and you want certain, not very common jobs, certain exclusive jobs you want to get their attention on that. So would you be teaching skills that somebody can use in that regard, like to really project or highlight what you have done for the community, for, other things outside of work that somebody can, look at and say, okay, this person is going to be a good fit for this role?
Yes. So the pre-con is going to have 4 sections to it. The first is going to be what I originally talked about, having that problem solving mentality and those communication skills to be yourself around other people in a work setting. And the second is going to be how to pitch an idea. So I'm going to teach attendees how to use a narrative-based pitching framework so that you can leverage your values, who you are as a person, and how to come at a situation where you're satisfying both parties and the power of collaborative negotiation. And that not only is that going to work inside of a business meeting or inside of an organization, but it's also going to transfer into the ability for you to pitch yourself. The third piece, we're going to talk about written communication, because we live in a world where a heck of a lot of stuff is done via Slack and email. And I'm going to teach you how to write really great emails and memos, how to escalate things in an email, and then how to follow up. And then the last piece, which I think is so important, is how to give feedback. We're going to talk about nonverbal cues, mirroring, and labeling, which are 2 really good ways to give feedback and be a little softer with our feedback. And then how to leverage empathy. And so it's a lot of those quote unquote soft skills that are really hard to get, but Mala, I'm definitely going to teach you how to pitch yourself. Absolutely.
Very cool.
That was a lot of information, but I have attendees for 8 hours, and so we can get through a lot of things.
Oh, of course.
You know,
looks like you will be covering a fair amount of things that most techies have issues with, is confrontation and conflict negotiation and things like that. I know I personally am very averse to direct, conflict and things like that. I try to get around it somehow. So that kind of stuff I would find really useful.
Yeah, and I've seen that over and over again. And sometimes, it really just takes practice. You're not going to walk out of a session and the next day be a master at giving feedback and conflict resolution.
Right.
But what you're going to have, though, is you're going to have a framework. I'm going to teach you how to talk to people about hard things, how to give really great feedback, and then how to follow up in a way that's much more collaborative and not confrontational. And you can use a series of steps, and you know what? You can be bad at it. And how we soften that is by learning how to use empathy as a tool.
Great.
So it sounds like this would be a great session or great pre-con for people that are looking to maybe they're looking for a job, or maybe they're looking for a promotion. I think it'd be really, really great for really for everybody, but especially in some of those situations.
Right.
Yeah, well, the hardest thing that we have to advocate for as professionals is for ourselves, right? Because when you're pitching a great idea and you're removed from the outcome, right? It's a lot easier just to admit that you might fail or receive negative feedback. But when you're pitching yourself, when you're saying, I want to manage this team, or I want a $20,000 raise,
right?
Those are the most difficult conversations to have. Honestly, the hardest thing I ever have to write for people is I do a lot of resume help with people in my network, just because I'm a writer and I'm like the one storyteller in the SQL Server community. And honestly, it is the hardest thing. I get people who are so brilliant and awesome at their jobs struggle to tell the story of themselves and why they should be valued. So yeah.
I think what you're talking about is even more important for women, because traditionally we are the ones that say, oh, I'll wait. I'm not going to go ask for a raise.
Yeah.
And just really building confidence is so important. So I think a lot of the skills that you're talking about can do that.
What we're really good at, though, is we're good at that empathy piece. I think I would argue that we are better at giving feedback, or at least having some kind of conversation around it. What we lack is the authority to back up the empathy, because you can't just be a completely empathetic person without layering the authority of, I deserve to be in this room and you should listen to the feedback that I'm giving you. And we're going to talk a little bit about that, especially when it comes to difficult conversations, how you can leverage your expertise as the evangelist, not only for the data platform, but for yourself as a professional. And then how empathy helps you connect, but it helps you connect while you layer authority on top of it. Right?
Cool.
Yeah. I definitely, I have also been a woman in the data platform, and I started really undervaluing myself when I left PASS, and I've been through a lot of the motions of, you walk out of a meeting and you just set a number and they didn't even counter it. They didn't even blink, and you undervalue yourself. You're just like, damn it, I mean, I have been there so many times, and I really, I like to think that I'm not there anymore, that I know my value.
An ex-boss tell me once, I worked for him for like 7 years. And when I left, we went out for a send-off party in dinner. And when we were walking back, he said, I want you to guess the number that HR and me had in mind when we hired you and the number you asked for. Just take a guess.
Oh God.
And I wasn't even close. Man, I felt like the earth would just open up and swallow me. And 7 years had gone by. I could have paid out my mortgage. I could have done so many things with that money. I just did not ask. Wow. So I told him, next time, don't wait for a woman to ask. Why don't you make that offer? Yeah. Because there are so many like me. We have no clue. We have absolutely no clue. Yeah.
And then a lot of it is saying a number with a straight face, right? Yes. A lot of it is being able to really
to me, it's fear of rejection. To me, it's like maybe they'll withdraw the offer if I ask for too much, or they think she's a show off, or all that kind of stuff. Yeah.
So all right. I think we'll wrap it up then. And it's just been fantastic talking to you today. And really good news, your pre-con is only $200. These are invaluable skills for all of us. So there's no reason why you shouldn't sign up for this. It's going to help you your day-to-day. It's going to help you in your career for the long run. So thank you again, Blythe, and we look forward to seeing you. And
great.
Yep.
Thanks for the opportunity.